Here we
We
are.
live.
We live. This is crazy, y'all. Well, my name's Nia.
And I'm Shael, and this is
Chatting with
Chattin The
the
Tea.
Tea. Okay.
Yes.
Like
We're
this
finally
is
starting this.
we finally starting it, and it's a long time coming for real because
Mm-hmm.
it's like dang, it's like we have so much to talk about, and it's just like we need an audience. We need people to hear what we have to say.
Yeah,
And it's almost like we've been planning this out since shoot 2018, 2019.
for real. And what was it? We just our FaceTime calls. Every time we're on FaceTime, we just be cracking up. And we're always like, bro, if people heard what we were saying, like the insight that like we're giving to each
Yeah.
other and the messages we just be telling ourselves and to each other, like people need to hear this.
We be
So
preaching. It's like church. You got church at
preaching
home. You
at
got
12
church on the
a.m.
phone.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't even feel like church for real, but we be preaching like it's church.
For real.
We be having all the dang words, y'all. Y'all don't even know. But
That's so true.
yeah, this is crazy. Well, I want to get into how we came up with our name because we
Yep.
were really deciding what we were going to call this podcast, y'all. Like, we went through so many names. We had Shiny, which is, which
Let's chat
is,
about it.
let's chat about it. And so we're just like, we have all these names, but we had listened to an old voice note that we had back in
Crazy.
2018, 2019, and
Seattle days.
it was like our old Seattle days. It was like our old selves, y'all, knew that we were going to be here in this moment, and we came up with the name.
Yep.
So we're going to put a little snippet of how that came up with that
Have y'all take a
here.
little listen. Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. So welcome. This is our podcast. We're calling it Chattin the Tea. Chattin the Tea. Hey, Chattin the Tea, everybody. All right. So yeah, that's how
Isn't
that's
that
crazy,
crazy?
bro. Like
We were laughing when we heard this. We were like, no way. No way. And I know we were in Nia's car, probably at the marina, where we will always hang
Yeah.
out or something, like manifesting.
And it was just like our old selves were ahead of our dang time. Because how do we know that that was going to be our dang podcast name? Like, what? That is crazy.
But you know what? Like back then, we were on some
We
spiritual
were.
shit. Like,
And we didn't even know it because we were not tapped in at the time. We weren't
no,
tapped in at the time.
no.
It's
What a time
what
to
a
be
time
alive
to be
too with that.
alive. That's why everything is all
But
connected at the same time. If you don't even think 5 years ago, we
it
didn't think we
is.
was going to be in these spots here. I know I didn't. So
Mm-hmm.
if that's just a message to just keep going,
Just
follow
follow
your
your
dreams,
dreams,
go
keep
on the path,
going.
because we didn't realize how this was going to align perfectly into today. So
So true.
yeah.
But I say now that we did our little introduction, y'all kind of know us a little bit. Now you really about to get to know
Yeah.
us because we gonna be talking about our lives now. Because Nia's in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in LA, and we just want to like let y'all know what life is like in our 20s after moving to Seattle.
Yes. So since you moved first, I want you to kind of share your story about LA and, what
Okay.
you
Yeah.
overcame, some maybe blockages that you had to overcome, and your favorite things about being in LA.
Ooh. Okay. So I moved. Well, I graduated college in 2021 in Seattle. And then I moved a year later, which is crazy to think. I thought it was 2 years that I moved to LA, but it was just a year after. And it was so wild because I would tell everyone like I'm moving to LA and all that, and I would get these dreams um, and messages telling me that the certain month that I'm moving to LA, which I'll get deep into that another time because a girl be lucid dreaming and the messages that I get and how they affected my transition just with everything in life. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But I had a dream of someone telling me I'm going to move in March. And so I did. I moved in March. And I had this whole plan figured out on living with these two girls, but it didn't work out. So I subleased at an apartment with these two other girls that are dancers. And what was it? It just, that didn't go great to the point where like I became homeless for 2 weeks, had to stay with someone that's in my family. And then I found my place, thank goodness. I truly took a wrong turn and I found my apartment. I found my dream neighborhood, and I've been living here for 3 years now. And I moved down here to be a professional dancer. So I couldn't even dance for a minute because I was just figuring out like my living situation, my work situation, and all that. But now we finally settled in after a year living in LA. We found, I got signed to a talent agency, one of my top three. So I'm so blessed with that. And I love them so much. They truly listen to me and want me to succeed. I just like actually had a meeting with them 2 weeks ago and it went great. But yeah, and then I met some friends. I found me a really good 9 to 5 job. And I booked so many amazing things. Like I just did a Kate Spade commercial, which was crazy, and filmed a movie, and just being on set with that was so great. And I just got done creating a whole short dance film that I directed that turned out beautiful and had amazing feedback. So much has happened, but there's still blockage and hard things that you go through in your 20s, and also just as an artist, as well. But overall, we're doing good, and you just gotta like count your blessings. And literally later today, I have a rehearsal for a gig that I got. So it's just, as an artist, it's like you're busy one moment and then there's silence, and you freak out on that silence, but you have to realize that silence is like a privilege too.
It's very necessary.
And so it's very necessary, and I have to keep telling myself that. But it's been great. Even like, it's just so much. You got your career, your dating, your family, your finances, and I still can't believe I moved out to LA. Like it's every time I walk to my apartment, like walk up the stairs in my apartment, I'm always just like, wow, I can't believe this is happening.
That's real.
It's like you're playing the game of life, you know? But yeah, like that's it. There's so much to it, but it's like, that's like the gist of it.
So let me ask you this then. Do you, for somebody that is planning to want to leave their hometown, what advice would you give them? Because I feel like just us as creatives, leaving your hometown is hard. So for somebody that expects to move out and like immediately get these gigs and get booked and like make the music or whatever it is that you just want to dive deep in, like what advice would you give that creative? Because I think we go and we expect things to be so instant, even though it does take time.
Yes, it takes time. I think there's so many steps. One is like surrounding yourself with good people, folks that want a better life for themselves and that thinks highly of themselves. Because I feel like if I didn't have the friends that I had in Seattle, like Mia and our 3 other friends that we would hang out with a lot, we would always talk about our dreams. And I think that just pushed me and made me more confident in knowing what I wanted to do. And then also, like, you just have to tell yourself, just do it. Just do it. But also be realistic with it. So making sure you save and you have to sacrifice. Because for me, I think I had it a tiny bit easy, only because I lived with my mom and I didn't have to pay for rent, and I didn't have to pay for a few other bills. So I was getting $1,900 on a paycheck like every other week at my barista job. If you're from Seattle, get a barista job in LAX, because I promise you that check's about to be nice. At the airport. Oh yeah, not LAX. See, this is what I'm an LA native girl. But
That's funny.
I say be a barista at SeaTac because what was it? I would get $1,900 on a paycheck, and I would put 1,000 in my savings and then use the 900 as spending money. And I would not spend that 1,000. I would never touch it. I put it straight into a savings account, and I gave myself a year to save. And me and my friends, we wouldn't even do a lot of things that revolved spending money. I think it was just our company of hanging out was like all we needed. So it was easy for me to not spend that money. And I think I communicated with them too. Like, I don't want to be spending my savings, like, because I'm moving. And yeah, I saved about like 15,000. But another thing too is for me, I'm a huge mama's girl. Like, me and my mom, we can't be separated for too long. And so if I'm going to be separated from her, living in a whole nother state, I need to show her too and give her that peace of mind that I'm okay. So, no joke, me and her, we flew to LA and I paid for her flight. I paid for the hotel. I paid for all the meals and stuff, and all she had to do was get the rental car because I wasn't old enough to get a rental car. You have to be like 25. And so I showed her that, and that was for her, that's all she needed to see that I was serious. Where she was like, "Oh, like she's so serious to the point where she's like paying for my flight and all that. Like, she really wants me to see her plans."
Yeah. And that should be all right.
Yep, and that'll be all right. So if you have like a strict parent like that, that's like they believe it when they see it. You got to make those steps a little bit, but um, you just got to keep pushing yourself. That was truly how I did it. Um, so if you're living with your parents at the time, like, please save that money as much as you can, because it you don't want to be going to a big city like LA and you don't got no money.
That part.
You know, because it's not going to be a fun transition. Like, I was struggling when I first moved there because of the whole roommate situation, and I had money. Thank goodness I did, because I could have gotten me like an Airbnb, but I realized I had a family member here. But just picture if you had to go through that situation, you don't got no money.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's tough. But hey, listen, it was tough, but we got through it. So
exactly. Yeah. When I don't like think back on those days. I'm like, that was in the past, because a girl was stressing. But you know what? My skin was glowing the whole time. Crazy. I had no acne. I remember when I would have my little like breakdowns crying. At the end, I would check myself out in the mirror and be like, "Damn, my skin." Though,
like, I got something to be happy about.
Yeah, that was pushing me through. Was the clear skin.
That's so freaking real. That's so real. Oh my gosh.
But okay, what's Atlanta like? The transition for you, because it's been what, a year now?
Oh my gosh, it's been a little over a year, and all I can say is culture shock. All I'm seeing is black folks. I absolutely love it though. I think, coming from Seattle. Well, backstory. This is a place I've always felt called to go. I don't know why Atlanta was just a place that just made sense for me. You always hear that this is the Black Hollywood, and I just felt like this is where I was supposed to be at. This is just where I would thrive at. So when I came down here in 2021 and I got to experience it for the first time, I'm like, oh yeah, like I didn't know what to expect from it, but what I did know was that I was going to love it, and I was going to be around people that looked like me, and that's exactly what I got. And it's just crazy. And even being here for a year, moving down for music specifically, because LA was another place that I was going to go, but I was like, no. I said, Shilo's there and I can go and visit. I said, I'm going to go into the place where I always really, truly wanted to go, which was Atlanta. So being here has been so crazy. And I think, it took about a year for me to start getting music endeavors and like meeting people and connecting with different artists and creatives and entrepreneurs. And it's just like, wow, what you can make honestly in less than a year, and even in a year. It's so crazy because they're so big on community out here. And it's just so different from Seattle. You just have people that want to see you do great. We all want to, like, you see better, you want to do better, and people want to help you be better. And I think that's really the main difference from Seattle and here. It's so community. And this is what I feel like life is worth living when you feel that, because you know it's so fulfilling to your purpose and the goals that you attain for yourself. But the downfall of Atlanta, I will say, is the pay cut. Y'all.
Bro, both of our mouths were hanging on the floor, okay?
Hanging on the floor. All right, so let me tell y'all something. If you from Seattle and you listening to this, do not sleep on the damn Port of Seattle jobs, okay? Do not sleep on the airport jobs, because you going to be making some money. You going to be making some money. And look, we both, Child and I both was working at the airport, saved, racked up, and moved. So coming to the airport over here, keep in mind, I'm making like $19 an hour at the airport in Seattle. Y'all, I come over here and make $2 plus tips. And all I can do is laugh, because I knew I was going to take a pay cut. But damn, I thought maybe like 12, 13, 14.
They said lower.
$2. What the
single digit?
What the hell? Now it makes sense because everything is cheap out here. Lifestyle, like going out and stuff, I think it's, you know, in any major city, it's going to obviously be expensive. They're going to be charging for valet, all these big things. But if you just living a regular schmegular life and you just want to make your art, you know, it's never that serious for me. I don't be going out. But that has been like a struggle, having to find a 9-to-5 that works and that will help fund your career.
Yeah.
But this is really like one of those places where it's just like, nah, man, fuck working a 9-to-5. Like, really get into your entrepreneur bag. And like, the more people that I see, even just working my 9-to-5s and bartending, and the type of people that come in and you ask like, what are they doing for their jobs? And like, they own like different truck companies, and you just wouldn't even expect that. Like, what? Like, how did you, like, you know what I'm saying? You hear all these different stories of different entrepreneurism that you've just never thought would be a thing. And it's just like, wow, it pushes you to want to work for yourself and do for yourself, because other Black people are doing that, and you do not see that back home. You don't. So
you see the hustle there.
You see the hustle. Like, it's insane. So I really think that's like the big difference, but it does feel so good. I recommend any Black folk, not even just moving here, but just coming to feel the excellence and the money that our people have here, because it's just so inspiring. It's great.
What's been your like favorite part so far living in Atlanta? See,
honestly,
I'd be mistaken, be saying LA. I need to stop.
I know, guys. You want me to move to LA so bad.
Yeah. Whereas so like, I'm starting to believe myself where I'm purposely saying LA, but I'm not.
She putting it in our subconscious brain.
For
now,
real.
Like, in 2 years, you're going to hear me be like, all right, y'all, well, it's time for me to move to LA.
We going to LA. But yeah, what's your favorite experience so far in Atlanta?
Honestly, I think the music, I'm not going to lie. Like, even like the lounges and the restaurants, and how the restaurants are like club. It's like you go to eat, bro. You got the DJ in the back.
They got hookah coming out, and it's just like, bro, this is kind of crazy.
The video you sent me on TikTok of that girl going to the grocery store and they had a DJ in the grocery
the
store.
Publix, bro.
I was like, Atlanta's different. Okay.
It's different. Like they always find an excuse to have fun, turn up, party.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, even at the damn restaurant, I love how different places they be doing like the R&B bingo. That's fun.
That is fun.
What else? I don't know. It's just fun, and I think everybody here is so different. You really feel that Southern hospitality. People genuinely like to talk to you, and I think that's another thing that I like and appreciate as well too, is that just everybody's real nice and are open to conversation. And I don't know, you just never know who you're talking to that could change your life, or not even just in any way, but even in small ways, help you change a perspective on something.
Yeah.
So I think those are my favorites.
That made me think of like the culture too in LA.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I didn't talk about that too much, but that's how it feels here too, where like everyone is just so welcoming and nice. But also it can depend where you're living in California. Right. But I'm mainly be hanging out in the Santa Monica area, and I swear I think it's just because we're close to the beach, and everyone's just so nice, just a bunch of hippies. The group of people that I met, they're such huggers, and I remember moving there and they start hugging me. I was like, oh, okay, like, why are you touching me like I just met you? But that's just a thing. Like, everyone is truly family.
Yeah.
And just walking the streets, like, people will just shout your name, say, hey, like, what's going on? You're just having a conversation with them. And like Nia said, you never know, like, who you'll meet when just, like, working or just walking. And, you know, of course, you're in LA. You never know who you're going to meet. And at my job, too, there's so many people that works in, like, the movie industry, music industry, just, you know, Hollywood. And so I always feel like, and it motivates me to always make sure, like, I'm dressed up and I'm always looking presentable and stuff, because, like, every day it's kind of like an interview. You just don't know who's going to come up, ask you a question, and you don't know who's watching you, and not in that creepy way, but like on that, like I've been seeing her work and she's good and stuff, or I really like how she's just such outgoing and all that. Like, you just don't be knowing. And in Seattle, everyone's just so cold. Yeah. Like, someone called it, the Seattle freeze, which is freeze. Like headphones, hoodie on, no eye contact. Yeah. And that's how I used to be until I moved to LA.
That's so real. I think getting out of that bubble is so interesting, because when you do leave, and I know probably for you too, like moving out and leaving Seattle, it's just like, okay, well, I'm in this different environment now, so it's just like, dang, maybe I'm more Seattle than what I realized. Like, I'm not like, for real. When I'm in the store, please don't talk to me. I just want to get my groceries and go. But like, you know, people want to stop and have these conversations. So I think it does kind of open your eyes to see, like, dang, like I am more kind of like the Seattle folks more than I realized. But girl, that is kind of our culture in Seattle. I wouldn't even say like there's culture in Seattle, because there's so many different cultures, you know. There's not just one specific culture, but I think that is the beauty of Seattle, is that you know, especially from the South too, we got to meet so many different type of people and be in so many different religious backgrounds and races and ethnicities, that it's just like we are open to everybody. We know everything, damn near. And I feel like that's such an advantage, because I just feel like it opens us up to
just be open-minded, and like to also explore with our art as well. Like, you don't
Yes.
realize the people that you communicate with and how, just open-minded you are of meeting different folks. That will affect your art, affect your workspace, your love life, all of it.
Yeah.
So, that's basically our story, and just the difference of, like, just the feeling in both Seattle, LA, Atlanta. But
the kettle's getting kind of cold.
Well, what does that mean?
You know, like, the tea is not hot no more. The kettle is cooling down, and it's almost like,
I think it's done.
Closing. I think it's done, y'all.
Okay. And I think that's it for Chatting the Tea for today.
Yes, it is. And thank you guys for tuning in and listening. This is a very cool start of our journey. Like we said, we've been planning this out for such a long time. So thank you for taking the time to listen, being here. We have so many fun and cool topics, cool guests that you're going to hear on this podcast. So please stay tuned for scheduling on all that good stuff. And
you guys are going to be laughing your asses off. You're going to relate to us so much. Like, just, we're two Black girls going to be talking about life in this day and age. Okay, you already know there's some things we need to talk about and bring into the light. And the people we about to invite to this podcast too got some big personalities.
They sure do.
So stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram, which is, what's our Instagram again?
Chattin The Tea.
It's just Chattin The Tea.
Chattin The Tea.
Period. And it's not chatting with a G.
Chattin.
It's just I-N.
We chattin'.
Okay.
And
follow us, and we might follow you back. Who knows?
Yes.
But okay, that's it.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.